Hello there. Hello there. Kim Coles here in the background. You will see my face in just a moment. And there's the moment. So do I have a producer on this? My hands, there was no hands, folks, no hands. Do I have a producer? Okay. I can't be trusted. I'm sorry? Okay. So hello, everyone. Why do we do that? When I think it's very old fashioned when someone says something and you don't hear them, you go, I'm sorry. Like, why am I sorry? I'm not sorry. It's like, excuse me? I'm sorry. I'm one of those people that if I bump into someone or if someone bumps into me, I've been known to go, I'm sorry. Was I in your way, sir or madam? What is that? What is that? I'm sorry. I can't hear you. Hi, everybody. Hi there. Kim Coles here. So we are working on the technological experience. You want to give me the cue when it's happening? I'm hoping at the top of the hour, which it is now, we are ready to go. I have a really wonderful presentation for you. Sipping tea out of my waiting to exhale mug, which I'll tell you a little story as we get ready to begin. I'm waiting for the confirmation that we're live everywhere. I had the great opportunity to interview all of the ladies in the Waiting to Exhale movie when it came out. What year did it come out? Does anyone know? Let me go to my comments, see if I can see comments. Hey, from Atlanta. Hello, Nia. Hello. Oh, thank you for sharing, Ty. It's going to be a really great presentation. Hey, Baltimore. I did the Maryland mouth. I love it, and thank you for the congratulations on the reunion. Not the reunion. I'm sorry, the 30-year celebration. Congratulations. Am I live there yet? Good to go. So, hello everybody. I'm Kim Coles, and I start out by telling you, there's my lipstick on the mug. I had the great joy of interviewing the four main characters, the four ladies of Waiting to Exhale. And what I like to do is go ahead and start this presentation, and then weave that story into my presentation. I'm excited. I'm excited to share this with you. So, today's presentation is all about, I call it Dream to Draft, a masterclass in bringing your book to life. And this is all about helping you tap into your author confidence, find the best reader for your book, and to understand the importance of creating a plan for you to get your words, your ideas, your thoughts, your thought leadership, your wisdom, your lessons out into the world. It requires a plan. It requires a discipline. It requires accountability. It requires saying you're going to do it and then getting it done. And this is one of the things I love helping people with. Just one of the things. I'm multifaceted, as I know you are as well. And I am really a believer in just lighting up all areas of my life that I can. All the areas that are the zone of genius for you should be lit up. All the things that you're passionate about should be lit up and activated. And the exciting piece is that you get to teach others, you get to share it with others, you get to put your thought leadership and put your wisdom out into the world. And maybe because I'm getting a little bit older, it's like, I've got things to share. I've you know, what is it? I've been there, done that, and I got the t-shirt. Well, by the way, if you hear noise, the pitter patter of little feet, it's because we have a very noisy neighbor. We recently moved, and we have a very noisy neighbor with two very active young children, and they're moving furniture at the same time. But I shall not let that distract me. I shall be here with you now. So thank you so much for being here. And let's talk about Dream to Draft, how to establish your thought leadership as an author, and how to be having that frame of mind, whether you're writing your first book or your next book. I've got a wonderful slideshow. Let's take it away. Dream to Draft, a masterclass in bringing your book to life and bringing life into your book. 3 steps for your first or next book. Let's take it away. Am I switching the slides? Oh, there we go. So let me tell you what you're in store for today. What you're in store for are, as I said, the key ingredients that I think that you need in order to write your first or next book. And we're going to talk about cultivating confidence as an author, why it's so important to have your confidence. And I have a beautiful secret method of getting your confidence up. It's also about finding compelling stories for your book. It's about understanding your ideal reader. And I love to tell people that I'm going to bust a myth for you today. I'm going to bust a myth for you today that is so important that if you get nothing from this presentation, it's important to know whether you're an author, a coach, a speaker, or present any kind of business or service to others. This is going to be the thing that's a game changer for you. And I have some exercises and a beautiful workbook for you and a special offer that I'm going to share with you in full transparency. Towards the end of this presentation, which should be about an hour 15 minutes, I am going to offer you an opportunity for us to be able to work together. What I need to do is find the link to the workbook so I can put it in the chat. So if you hang on just a second, let me find that, because I don't think I put it out there. Hang on just a second. We can do 2 things at the same time, 7 things at the same time. I'm going to give you the link to the, somebody said dream to draft. So I'm putting it in the chat, and now I'm about to make a banner for it so you can get the workbook. And it's not really a workbook. It's better than a workbook. I call it a book alchemy plan. A book alchemy plan that I'm writing and saying it at the same time, and adding the banner and showing it for you right now. It's the book alchemy plan. So you go to bit.ly/book alchemy plan. It's a workbook, but it's really a plan and a guide for you to make the changes that you need to make in your writing, in your life, in your experience, in your perspective, in order to have a fantastic book, and a book that will actually be a bestseller, because that's what everybody wants, right? Don't you want to be a bestseller? Of course you do. Of course you do. So, little quiz for you here. True or false? Writing books will make you rich. True or false? I'm going to look at the comments and see what everyone says here. True or false? Do you think the book will make you rich? You're very welcome. Very welcome. That book, by the way, that book alchemy plan is free today, and eventually I will be locking that behind a gate and selling it. But today, did you see that I was locking it behind a gate? But today it is free for you because you are here right now. It is no cost to you. Well, I'll answer the question for you. It is false that writing a book will make you rich. Actually, it's not the writing, even the publishing of a book is not what makes you rich. Having a book enriches your life because of all the things that you can do with that book. And we're going to talk about that in this presentation. A lot of people write the book and they're so proud. I had somebody text me not too long ago or DM me when I was talking about this upcoming presentation. And they were like, I have 8 books on Amazon. I'm like, that is great. And I could feel the pride that they had in that. Like 8 books, that's no small feat. And I would say, what are you doing with those books? What are you doing with those books to further your author platform, to create an author program, author platform for yourself? And what are you doing to get those books, I would say, exponentialized out into the world, and creating other products and services and ancillary products to go along with those books? And that's what makes you rich. And yes, I did do air quotes. So thank you. That is false. False-ish. The next one is, can you use AI, artificial intelligence, to write your book? There's a lot of buzz about artificial intelligence. And as somebody who's in the book space and in the publishing space, which I'll share with you in a minute too, there are, places you can go to have artificial intelligence write your book. So this is a trick question, because the answer is, yeah, you could have that. However, what we want as readers is we want you. You can put a book out that's full of information, but I want to read a book that's all about your perspective on the information, your stories, your point of view, your lessons, your wisdom. And unless you inject you into the AI, it's not going to work. So I'm not going to tell you that I'm not a fan of artificial intelligence. It is awesome where it is awesome. However, I do not believe that you should use it without injecting you. You are the most important piece of that experience. And just sort of typing in some prompts and pushing something out and hit publish is not going to have the same effect as you including you in the experience. You are the most important part of that. Next to the soulmate reader, which we'll talk about. And the third question here is true or false, you need a big publisher. Well, I'll tell you from experience that having a big publisher is an experience. And it's you might assume that it is the top of the mountaintop to have a traditional publisher say, yes, we want to publish your book. However, there are a lot of steps to go through to even get up that mountaintop to get to them. I'm grateful enough to tell you that I've had that experience, and I'll share some of the ups and downs of that. But the truth is, you can do this yourself, or you can do something that I'm a fan of now called hybrid publishing, where you have a publisher who is there to guide you, publish the book, lead you in the marketing and exponentializing of the book out there, helping you to leverage it. Some publishers do that, some don't. Or you can go and publish it yourself. You can publish on Amazon and make it happen yourself. I'm a fan of hybrid because I like having that experience where someone was there to guide me on the pitfalls of publishing and point me in the direction of what I needed in order to build a strong platform. And I liked it so much, I opened my own publishing company. What? Yes, I did. That's coming in just a moment too. So why write a book? Let me explain some of the yummy experiences and the yummy reasons why writing a book is a great idea. So number one, it establishes, in no particular order, I'll just say number one first, establishes authority and credibility. There's nothing like saying, oh yes, I'm an author. Yes, I'm an author. I'm an author. Would you like to book me on your podcast? Oh yes, I'm an author and I'd love to come and speak at your events. Why, aren't you an author? Can I hire you to come and share your story? Why, yes, you can, because I'm an author. Those are just some of the books I'm going to share with you. It really does increase your authority and credibility. And there's a feeling of expertise and like I said, authority. People can come to you because you've written a book. People will come to you because you've written a book and you're an authority on it because you have done it. We still value books. I moved not too long ago, and one of the things that I had the hardest time donating and selling at a garage sale or giving away were the books, were the clothing and the books, because they're still valuable to us as a society. The next thing I'll share with you is that it increases your visibility. There's nothing, more delightful than being able to promote your book and promote your ideas in your book and promote the transformation that you offer for your soulmate reader in your book. And so it really does help create more visibility for you. So let's say you're an expert in some area. When you create a book, you have your perspective on something and you get to promote it and share it with the world. And it really does help do all these things, including creating additional income. By the way, what I'll tell you is that the additional income not only comes from the book, it comes from all those ancillary products that you will create, all of the speaking engagements that you will book, all the times that you'll get booked on a podcast and be able to share your course or be able to share your coaching program. And hopefully this is sparking some ideas for you that you're not just an author, you are an expert. You're not just an author, you are a thought leader. And you would do well to take the ideas that you have in your head and in your heart and put them in your book and then expand them even further so they reach and help even more people. It's a marketing tool, and we've been talking about that. It really is a beautiful thing to go, can I get on your podcast? Yes, we need you. We need you in the world. Can you hear the children running? Can you hear the children running on my head? But I can hear you tell me that we can't. And it offers big opportunities for you and the big possibilities of opportunities. We know people that have written books and gotten them out into the world, and it opened so many doors for them. And like I said, for their soulmate reader. And it's a personal growth tool. it will be required that you step into some sort of discipline and accountability to yourself and accountability to the people that you will read, the people that will read your book. And so it really is a personal growth when you're sitting down and working on what you say you want to get out of your head and heart and make it happen. It is definitely a personal growth tool for you and for others. And it is legacy building. Like I said before, the hardest thing that I didn't want to get rid of was my books. These books live on and live on and live on. And you and your ideas will live on and live on and live on. And there's something really special about what a book does for you. You know, there's books that we love, that we talk about and that we share and that we gift to friends. And it really is part of your legacy. And because you're going to be offering transformation to your soulmate reader. By the way, some people say ideal reader. I say soulmate reader because you are touching them in their soul. So who am I to share all this with you? Well, hello, I'm Kim Coles. And you may know me as an actress, a comedian. I'm also an author. I'm a 4-time best-selling author. I'm a speaker. I'm an entrepreneur. And I'm also a publisher. I recently added publisher to my resume because I'd gone through this experience and several times, and I wanted to now provide a space for others to have a comfortable landing pad to understand this publishing and book writing and authorship game. I wanted to be able to create a space where I could lead you by the hand and go, hey, take a look at this. Hey, this is what you can build here. Hey, this is what you hadn't even thought about yet. Have you thought about this? And I love that I've created this experience. I call it Hot Coals Publishing. Did you catch that? Hot Coals. Hot Coals. But it's not HOTCOLES. It's HAUTE. HAUTE. Hot Coals, because I wanted it to be awfully fancy and awfully fabulous. And this is what I'm doing out in the world. And one of the things I'm most delighted about, yes, I'm delighted about my work in Hollywood, and I love doing it, and I still do it. And especially when the strike is over, I plan to do some more of it. But one of my most delightful quests has been to help others write their books and get their words out of their head, out of their heart, and into the hands and hearts of others. And so I've helped over 90 authors become bestsellers. And I've done that with some anthologies. So this was my first anthology, Open Your Gifts, 22 lessons on finding and embracing your personal power. So there are 22 authors in this book, all sharing their story of their wisdom, of their lessons in establishing what their gifts are in the world. And then I went and did it again. 42. This is 42 lessons in finding and embracing the blessings in disguise. Woo! We all have blessings in disguise. And when we go looking for them, we open our gifts even more powerfully. And then I recently, with my very own imprint, published the third in the series called The Wisdom Gifts. Finding, embracing the legacy in our lessons. You have legacy all up in them lessons. Everything that has happened to you has happened for you. And what if you are meant to share, give, overcome, and become the one that would lead people to the solution? That's what you're here for. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, that's what you're here for. You're welcome. Oh, I don't mean here on the masterclass. I mean here on this earth. I'll also share with you my very first book, which was done with a traditional publisher. It's called I'm Free, But It'll Cost You: The Single Life According to Kim Coles. It's semi-autobiographical and very, very funny and a little bit naughty, and a lot of it fictionalized. I won't admit to how much of it is me and how much of it is just really made up in my mind. But this is the first book that I ever had, and it was indeed published with a traditional publisher. And I likely may not do that again because the support that I wanted wasn't there after the initial launch. And I think that one of the reasons why I started Hot Coals was to create a platform for others to be able to continue the learning on what needs to happen in order for their book to become truly successful and become a bestseller. So that's why we're here. So why don't we start with a little bit of confidence after I take a sip of tea? Mm-hmm. So one of the 3 things that I'd like you to take away today, or the billion things I'd like you to take away today. And by the way, don't forget that you can get your book alchemy plan, where the exercises that go with this presentation will be deepened. So, listen to me now, and then, I'll leave the replay up for a little while. And once you get your book alchemy plan and download, a lot of these exercises will be there for you. So confidence as an author is so important. And the journey to confidence is important to look at, because it's really just a journey. It's a decision. It's a perspective. And I like to talk about some of these fears that we have, and then offer you my perspective on a solution to that, because that's really all you want is a new, fresh way of looking at something that I can go, oh, that's a fear. I get that. I see that fear. I've had that fear myself. And here's a potential solution for you to snap out of it or to snap into where you're supposed to be. So the first one is time commitment. I don't know if I have enough time, Kim Coles. Writing a book's going to take a whole lot of time. I ain't got that kind of time. Well, there's a solution to that. And the solution is you break it down. You schedule time. You make a commitment to yourself and have accountability to yourself to write an hour a day, an hour a week, if that's all you've got. But you make that commitment and you chunk it down and you create a plan for yourself. And one of the things I love doing when I work with authors is to help them create a plan that fits into their lifestyle, so that time commitment is not even an issue. It ain't a thing. It ain't a thing but a chicken wing. Y'all remember that phrase? Where does that come from? It really doesn't need to be a thing. You can bust that fear, bust that myth very quickly by creating a plan and staying true to your commitment to what you want to put out in the world. And then maybe one of the fears you have is lack of writing skills. Well, I don't know if I'm really a good writer. I don't know if I know how to write. Well, a potential solution for you is to educate yourself, to dive into what it takes to become a good writer, or to have a heck of an editor to help you out. There have been stories of people whose first draft was like, what are these words on this page? And then you get yourself a really quality editor that will help bring it all together. And it's like, whoa, you made me sound like a genius. So that's one solution. And the other solution is to educate yourself and to hire a coach, or to hire or to step into a program like the one I'm going to offer you a little bit later on, that will guide you on the path and illuminate the areas where you're doing great, and illuminate the areas where things could be shifted to be even better. That's the way I look at it. So maybe your fear is, I don't want to be criticized. I don't want people looking at me and thinking that I've talked about them. And, I got some stories in my life, Kim Coles. I don't want people to know my business. How do I share my story without sharing all my business? And what if Uncle so-and-so says that I'm a terrible, all the things that, what if the haters come and tell me that my book is no good? And here's the solution. And this is a really interesting perspective that I learned from a mentor of mine, that you get to look through the lens of, is what someone just offered me a fact, or is it just feedback? That book, What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. What you think of me is none of my business. And you get to filter it through that experience. Is what you're saying to me fact? So if I've got spinach in my teeth right now, and you said to me, Kim Coach, you got some spinach in your teeth, and you said it in a way that wasn't particularly critical, like, what's that in your teeth? You got some spinach. I go, oh my goodness, I really do have some spinach in my teeth. That's a fact. Thank you. Moving on. But when somebody's mean, like, what's wrong with you? You don't know how to brush your teeth. You got spinach in your teeth. Well, the feedback on that is, okay, so I've got a piece of spinach in my teeth. Thank you for that. That's feedback. But that feedback is more about that person's energy than it is about you. Why are you saying this to me in the way that you're saying it to me? It's actually giving me more information about you than it ever could about me. Or there are times when I've gotten feedback on something and I was like, it sounded like a criticism, but I'm going to filter it through and say, let me not take it personal. And how can I improve? How can I take a nugget of truth that was in that feedback and make a change next time? Do something a little differently. And I get to decide if it's feedback. I get to decide if it's something that's useful for me. And so you get to decide if something is a fact or is it feedback. And the other thing I'll say about telling your stories especially if some of the stories are, I would say, involve other people. It's your truth. It's your truth, and you get to share your truth. And as long as you've filtered it through doing whatever healing that you need to do, doing whatever processing you need to do, and you're not telling your story to get back at people, as opposed to telling the story so that you can create a cautionary tale for something that happened to you, and to warn others or to share with others so they can witness you and witness for themselves how they can save themselves in some way, or avoid something in some way. As long as you're filtering it with a clean energy, then it's your truth, and it gets to be shared in that way. Because there's truth with a little sass on top of it, and then there's truth like, this just happened and this is what I've learned. And so that's my solution to that. Okay. What else is here? Lack of clarity, uncertainty about the process. So if there's an uncertainty about the process, the solution is to research, to get information on how to write your book, how get into a program where you're guided in the way you need to be guided, to be in a writing group, an accountability buddy if you want, and so and research and get the information needed. Lack of clarity, that solution for me is mind mapping. So I do one of two things. I either do a mind map where I put an idea. You've seen these beautiful mind maps. Sometimes it can be so elaborate and amazing. That's kind of how my mind works. So I think of one idea and I have 1,000 offshoots of 1,000 other ideas that are related somehow to that idea, sometimes not related. And so I can eliminate those. And so you could do a brain dump of everything you want to say and everything you want to do. I even do this when I'm creating comedy. I do this when I'm creating a speech. I get my central idea down, and then I think of all the other supporting ideas in a mind map. And there's actually mind mapping software that you can get. I do mine. I draw mine out freehand, but that mind mapping or making an exhaustive list of all of your ideas is just a way to get it all out of your head, and then you can go back and look at it and go, okay, what do we have here? What ingredients do we have to make a delicious book soup? Okay. The next one is lack of confidence solution. And what I have for you a little bit, let me see if I can find my notes. I have some affirmations for you, some writer's affirmations. And what I'll do is I'll put them on the live stream. I'll put them on the replay because I don't have them written here. But there are amazing affirmations that you can create for yourself that are from a space of positivity and possibility. That my words affect change in the world. I write what's in my soul, and my soul is now freed. There's so many beautiful affirmations that you can create, and I can share them with you. Like I said, I'll come back and put them here. They're not in my notes right here. And what do I have here? Maintain consistency. That's what you do when you set a commitment to yourself and just go once a week. I'm going to write 3 times a week. I'm going to write when the kids are at the playground playing. I'm going to sit and make notes, bring my notebook and make notes. Just create a consistent practice for yourself. And the fear of failure or the fear of success. What's interesting is that they're, opposite sides of the same coin. It's like, what if I fail? What if it doesn't work? Well, then there's the, what if I succeed and it's, whatever things that your mind can create would happen as a problem of you succeeding. So if I fail, it's a problem. If I succeed, it's a problem. The solution to that is to just reframe. What if this book, these lessons, this life that I've created, this life that is mine, is meant to change lives, meant to change my life, meant to change the lives of others. If you have that inkling, if you have that idea that that's what you want to do, then you reframe the perspective. What if I fail? Well, what if I don't fail? What if I get these words out and it makes change for others? What if I succeed and my life changes so much that I can't handle it? Oh, don't worry. You will be able to move past that comfort zone and onto another comfort zone. And what I mean by that is that a lot of times the fear of success is really the fear of the comfort zone that you're in. Like, I know what this is right here. This right here, I know what this is. I don't know what that next level is. But haven't you leveled up in your life? Haven't you changed and grown and stepped into a new version of yourself? Didn't your body grow from a little person to the person that you are today? Sometimes change is uncomfortable. You can say uncomfortable, and you got to push past that comfort zone. And when you have that new level, you will adjust, and you'll be busy looking for the next level at the next time. You will get the resources. You already have the resources that you need to have at every level that you have in order to level up. And it may be a little uncomfortable, and there may be some people who can't come with you. And you've lived long enough to know that there are people in your life today that weren't there at another place, and some of those people can't come with you to the next place. And it may seem sad, or it may seem unsettling, but the truth is you're meant to bust through your comfort zones. You're meant to level up to the next area, to the next area you're meant to be. And writing a book will do that for you. Like I said, it's a personal journey, and it will push through your comfort zones. And that's not a bad thing, because the next level is already waiting for you. Your next level is saying, come here, come on, come here. We're waiting for you over here. The water is just fine. Come on and jump in the water. The water is just fine. Can I give you all an analogy? There was a mentor that I had many years ago. And she said to me, you know, you're busy hanging out over there with the B's when the A's are saying, I thought you were an A. Come on over and hang out with the A's. That's you in your life. You're busy hanging out in B and C and D and W when there's an A-list life waiting for you. And the A's are saying, come on over here. We'll make you comfortable. Don't worry. It'll be very, very nice. I feel the love. Thank you so much. Okay. So here's my little confidence secret I'd like to share with you. This is one of my favorite things to share. Think of a time when you were excellent at something. And by the way, this will be on the book Alchemy Plan too. There's a little exercise for this. Think of a time in your life when you were excellent at something. When you rocked. And maybe you weren't even planning how you were going to rock. I mean, those surprises are the best to me. And you stood, in the mirror at the end of the experience, or the end of the night, or the end of the presentation, or after you'd made the most amazing macaroni and cheese. I mean, whatever the most excellent thing that you did was. And remember the feeling that washed over you of feeling pride and joy and wow, I did that. That is a confidence, a little piece of confidence that's already in your bank. You can borrow a little confidence, golden nugget that's already in your bank. You can borrow from that anytime you need to, because it's already yours. It belongs to you. You experienced it. You did that, and it's yours. And one of the examples I love to use of this is the first time I ever stepped on stage to do comedy. And it was long story short, it was a beauty pageant for plus size women. I was like maybe 20 years old. I dropped in and out of college 100 times. I didn't know what I wanted to do, what I wanted to be. And I had been in some fashion shows. And so I entered into this beauty pageant for plus size women. And I didn't know what talent I was going to perform, because they wanted us to have a talent. I'm like, I gave up piano lessons 100 years ago, and I don't want to do a monologue, and I don't know what I could do. I don't tap dance. I don't do any of the traditional beauty pageant talents. And so I made up a comedy routine based on how stupid I think beauty pageants are. Now, some of you have heard me tell this story before, so don't give it away. I took a risk to make fun of something that I was in. It was like very Inception-y, and I'm like 20 years old, so I didn't even understand what that was. And what I did was I did a routine about how these girls come on stage with their silly sequin outfits, and they twirl a baton and say they want to be Miss America. What the audience didn't know is I really do know how to twirl a baton, because I had been a baton twirler in high school. And so I twirled my baton. I had it set to the tune of Thriller, and I tossed it up in the air, refused to catch it because I didn't want to break a nail, and I won first runner-up. just because I had been my authentic, goofy, silly, ridiculous, very clever self. And that was the night that I discovered that comedy is what I needed to be doing. And so I can borrow confidence from that night, that, knock-kneed, plus-size girl standing on stage, twirling a baton to the tune of Thriller and winning the first runner-up crown. I borrow that moment all the time because that's the moment that helped me become the woman I am today. And so I want you to be thinking in your life of moments that you excelled at something. And like I said, it can be as yummy as some macaroni and cheese that you made for the family, like, Mom, this is the best ever. Or some other accomplishment that you had that led to career growth or a physical change of some kind. Borrow the confidence that you felt that, because if you did that, you can do this. That's my confidence secret. You're welcome. Ding. And I do my own sound effects. Oh, so now, by the way, in your workbook, not workbook, the book alchemy plan, which is on the screen right now, just go to bit.ly book alchemy plan, and the exercise is in there for you, and some other goodies are there for you too. So enjoy. Oh, wait a minute. I do have the affirmations for you here. They are in my notes. I thought they were in a separate place. So here are some of the writer's affirmations that I have for you, just to get you started. My voice is unique and valuable. Every word I write brings me closer to my truth. I trust the story within me, and I give it permission to flow freely. Challenges and blocks are just temporary. My passion and purpose are eternal. I'm constantly growing and evolving as a writer. My stories have the power to inspire, heal, and transform. I write with authenticity, and my words resonate with those who need them. I believe in my vision, and I persevere even in moments of doubt. Every time I write, I honor my gift and my readers. I am deserving of success, recognition, and all the joys that come from sharing my work. I should make that into like a little recording and put that out in the world. What y'all think about that? It's out in the world for you right now. And you can continue and write more of your own. And like I said, there'll be space on the alchemy plan for you to create your own affirmations, to get back centered and get confident in who you are and your gift that you've come to bring to the world. And be confident that the people who need you are waiting for you right now. There's something that my beloved always says, my beloved Dr. EJ, you all know him, you've heard me refer to him before, maybe. He always says, be an answered prayer. You are an answered prayer to someone. There's someone right now who's out there saying, I wish I had the answer to what I needed. I wish I had somebody to show me where the path to go. I wish I had confirmation that I'm on the right path. And what if you are the answered prayer? That means if you have the idea, if you have the message that you are meant to give more, share more from the well of your life, that means that somebody out there is waiting for it and wanting it and saying, please, please, please answer my prayer. That could be and should be you. And that is, for me, the beginning of the success. Yeah, we want the money. Yeah, we want to be on the shows, sitting on the Today Show, talking about your book with Hoda Kotb and Jenna Bush and all them. Yes, we want that. What we really want is to touch and transform the lives of others, which is what you're here to do. Yeah. So the next big part of writing your book, one of the second of three key ingredients I think you need to have in order to get your first or next book out of your head and heart and into the hands of others, is to find compelling stories for your book. And I have people tell me all the time, I don't know if I have any stories, and how do I know if my stories will resonate with people? I don't know, Kim Coles, I don't know. Well, here's some tips on recalling some stories and some personal experiences. So what you do is you pull from your life, you mine from your life, and find this little guy is mining your stories. You just go digging into your life. I now have that story of me standing on stage as a 20-year-old, unsure about who she was and where she was going, and that night discovering that this is what I need to do, right? So I have that story as a lesson, and then I can share that with you. It sounds like a story about Kim Coles twirling a baton on a stage, but really it's about you looking in your life. Where was there a moment that I was unsure and unclear about where I should go and what I should do? And then there was something that I did or said or experienced or someone who I met, and then boom, I had clarity. Where in your life do you have a moment like that? Well, it requires you mining your stories. So there are sources of inspiration in your life, other people, other experiences. There are personal experiences of your own. There are observations of the world around you. There are historical events that tap into you, or you tap into them, and they open up a whole new world for yourself. There's also lessons learned from others. I'm going to share one with you about Gladys Knight in a little bit. Well, no, I'll share it for you right now. Let me see, what's my next slide here? Well, here's some more techniques for you to unearth and polish your stories. You can journal regularly, always be journaling and writing down your experiences, because there's gold in them, there are hills. There's gold in that journal for you. You can interview others and collect stories from other people, history and anecdotes. I have a beautiful story of my auntie she was in the same class as Martin Luther King Jr. when they were both going for their doctorate. Like, she remembers meeting him before he was famous. She was friends with him in Coretta before he was famous. And she tells me stories about how he was so in love with Coretta. He was just, he just loved her. And she played the piano, and she was a piano virtuoso. And he just thought she was just, that's going to be my wife right there. He just knew it, right? And I have that personal story because I have interviewed my auntie about that. More stories about him too, about his energy and how she knew he was going to be something special because he just had it already. Interview your people, your elders. They've got stories to tell you about how they came through something. And we think that those are the old times, but the truth is there's a through line for all of us in lessons and life and story. Like I said, lessons learned from others. And on the book alchemy plan, I'll give you my 3 favorite story prompts. One of them being, who was your favorite mentor? Who was your favorite mentor, and what did they teach you? And really dig deep. Like, what did you really learn? Did you learn discipline? Did you learn, just what did you learn? You get to fill in the blanks. You get to fill in the blanks of what this person taught you. And sometimes they taught you something without even teaching you that thing. Sometimes they came at you like this, but you got this instead. Does that make sense? I hope so. And they're there for you. And let me just go back for a second. Let me just share this one for you. So I'll give you a story that I can mine for you that just comes up for me, very recent. Like a week or so ago, Dr. EJ and I went to the Hollywood Bowl to see Gladys Knight perform. By the way, she's 79 and she's fabulous. She looks and sounds amazing. And I remember that Gladys Knight came and did a guest spot on Living Single. So when Overton and Sinclair got married, those of you who remember a little show called Living Single, we just celebrated our 30th anniversary. So amazing, 30 years. So John Hinton got Gladys Knight and Antonio Fargas as his parents. I got Denise Nicholas and the late wonderful Ron O'Neal, Superfly, as my parents. So there's Gladys Knight there with us on the set. We're having such a good time with her. And at the time, I was having problems with my vocal cords. I was having polyps or something on my vocal cords, and I had a vocal coach, and I was trying to work my way through it. And he says, you got Gladys Knight on the show this week. You should ask her what she does to warm up her voice. Because part of your problem is that you're not warming up your voice before you perform. Ask her what she does. I'm sure it's amazing. So I asked her, Miss Gladys, I'm having so much fun with you on the show. may I ask you, what do you do to warm up your voice? And she looked at me and looked away and said, honey, I don't warm up. I don't ever warm up when I sing. I was like, oh my God, Gladys Knight doesn't need to warm up. Now, of course, I took that information back to my vocal coach who says, don't you listen to her. You need to warm up. Now, maybe she doesn't need to warm up because she's Gladys Knight. And I'm sure there's many people who are masterful at singing that must warm up before they sing. But Gladys at the time said, no, I don't need to warm up. I'll just go out there and sing. And so it sounds like a story. I'm bragging about meeting Gladys Knight. But really, the truth is, I went digging and mining that story for the lesson there. And the lesson for me was, where can I look in my life that I'm already masterful, that I don't need to warm up? And I want you to think about this too. Where in your life where you would not need to warm up, prepare? If somebody said, I need you to do blank, you'd be like, got it, let's go. Where in your life are you already a master that you don't need to warm up, you just need to show up? And so I'm thinking about developing that into a lesson to help people look into areas of their life that they just have to show up. They ain't got to warm up. There's areas in my life that are like that. And then also that doubles back to the whole confidence standard. For me, if you said, I need you to perform at the comedy club tonight, I'd be like, okay, let me just put on some lashes and lip gloss. I'm there. I don't have to warm up. I just need to show up. And that doesn't mean that Gladys doesn't warm up now. Doesn't mean that there's not an area of her life that she has to stretch in some way and warm up the muscles. But that day, she was like, girl, I just sang. I said, oh my goodness. And you have that too in your life. Where in your life do you not have to warm up? You just got to show up. And so these are where you get to dig into your life for your stories and dig up the lessons as well. I call it story alchemy. It's one of the things I love to do. I love hearing a story and then digging even further for the way I can alchemize what has happened in that story and to create a lesson for others to learn from, for others to be transformed. And here are some of the things that we talked about already there. Good. There's a pro tip I'd like to share with all of you too. You like that? That's great advice. I'm glad you like that. There's another thing I'd like to share with you too about adding the emotion in stories. And if you notice, I didn't just tell you the story. So Gladys Knight came on the set of Living Single and she played Overton's mom. And because I was having something going on with my voice, I asked her, Miss Gladys, how do you warm up your voice? And she said, I don't warm up my voice. I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. Okay. Like I added all kinds of emotion and color. I took you to the set with me. We were there hanging out with all the people. You were there with me. And the realization that she was like, I don't warm up. I just sing. So it might have been a revelation for her too. So add vivid imagery, add relatability, add your characters and your people and their experiences, add the emotional roller coaster. Like you had no idea that I was going to tell you that she doesn't warm up and that my vocal coach was like, that's nice for Gladys, but that ain't you. You're going to have to learn some, because I was like, Gladys ain't got to do nothing. Maybe I don't. I said, no, Kim Coles, you do. And so just really add the color into your stories and into your experiences because it brings your audience in even further. Okay. So there will be in your book alchemy plan, all you have to do is download it, some story discovery guides. I really wanted to make that available to you to really stretch it out so you can see there's so many stories and so many ways to go. And then the next important piece is to understand your soulmate reader. Now, some people refer to it as your ideal reader or your ideal customer, but I call it your soulmate reader because you want that soul connection. You want them to read the book and feel so resonant with it that they buy your next book or they buy your next program or your courses or your services or book a one-on-one call with you or whatever it is you are calling people to do with you, whatever your call to action is with your people. And understanding them deeply is very important. And I'm going to bust a myth for you. And I'm going to let you look at this little GIF of me and Overton. You're welcome. The big myth is that your book is not for you. I'm sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Your book is not for you. And it hurts my heart when I hear authors talk about, or aspiring authors talk about their book, and they're telling all of their story, and they want to be witnessed. And I get that we all want to be witnessed. That's a part of the human experience, in my opinion, that we want to experience. I was here, I lived, my life mattered, it was important, I was important. Witness me, witness the trouble I went through, witness the ups and downs, witness my triumph, witness me overcoming and becoming something else. Just look at me, please tell me that you see me. That's a great place to start. And then the message needs to be filtered in a way, your story needs to be filtered in a way, your book, your speeches need to be filtered in a way that it speaks to your soulmate reader, that it speaks to your soulmate, your ideal, your right fit client. What people are saying is, what's in it for me? Have you heard this term before? WIFM? What's in it for me? WIIFM. What's it for me? And it doesn't mean that they're selfish. It just means they need to know, why should I invest in time with you? Why should I invest in your book? Why should I invest in your goods and products and services? And why? What's in it for me? You got to make that clear to people early on, that it's not about you, it's about you. Does that make sense? It's not about you, it's about you. I'm sitting here telling you stories from my life, but I'm very clear that I'm telling you this because I want you to be looking in your life for where you have your version of the very same stories, because there's only one of us here. That's my perspective. We are more alike than we are different. That's how I choose to look at the world. That's how I make sense of the world. And I go, there's some real cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs people out there. But the truth is, I got my own cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. There's only one of us here. When you connect to that other one of you, your soulmate reader, they will be transformed by your words. They will have the opportunity to overcome and become something new as well. If you overcame and became something and you share it with others, then you are opening that space for them as well. And therefore, the book is not about you. It's about the transformation that you offer for them. It's about what has happened for you in your life, for you and to you in your life, that you now have made new energy, new perspectives, new possibilities for others. So I'll ask you, how do you tailor your writing to your target audience? What are your soulmate readers' demographics? What are their interests? What are their reading habits? What are their challenges? What are they praying for? They have a problem, and I'm going to put problem in quotes because I'm not being negative here. They have a problem. They have a prayer. They have a desire. And you are the one that can help them. That's why you write your book. That's also why you write your course. That's also why you become a speaker. That's why you open up for services and share your goods and products and services. It's all about the desire, the problem, the challenges, the solution that you can create for those people who have those problems, challenges, and require those solutions. And you get attached to that. You stay attuned to that. That might be a better way to say that. You stay attuned to that, you will make incredible differences for others. They have the money to spend with you, right? But why should they give it to you? It's because of the transformation that you're going to offer for them. I'm free, but it'll cost you is my humorous look at dating and love and sex and marriage. But I wrote it for a woman who was trying to figure out love and sex and marriage, right? The same with all of these. The Wisdom Gifts book, each of the authors in this book, which like I said before, if you came in late, I'm so grateful that I got to publish this as my first anthology. All 30 of these authors are telling the story of how they found the wisdom in their lessons, the wisdom in their stories. And the same with the other 2 books as well. Bam, bam, ding, ding. So I want you to open your gifts and share them with the world. Yes, that's what you're here to do. What if that's what you're here to do and you didn't even know that's what you were here to do? You're welcome. That's what you're here to do. Share your gifts to help others because somebody helped you. Think about the people who helped you. It's your turn. It's your turn. And you make it about them. it will make all the difference for them and for you as well. There are exercises in the Dream to Draft. No, I call it the Book Alchemy Plan. When I originally planned this, I planned time for exercise for us to go through the exercise together. But I found myself putting so many rich exercises in there. I was like, this will be like a 3-hour class. And maybe I will turn this into a longer workshop. But I just wanted to get this information to you, and then off you go. And I will present a way for you. Well, right now, I'll present a way for you to be able to do this with me, hand in hand with me. So you have a choice now with some of the things I've talked to you about today. And the choice is you can go on down the road and write your own book, or go on down the road to the never write my book road. It's a little off ramp off to the side over there. Never write my book road. You can have, exit now and have the same frustration and how should stagnation from not writing not writing your book. Because I think a lot of people say they're going to write a book and they actually don't do it. They talk about it, but they don't step forward and actually make it happen. And I've given you some great tools and techniques and tips today to actually get you started if you want to. Or you may go, that's too much work. I got to be thinking about other people, Kim Coles. I got to dig up my stories. I got to share my stories. No, I got to be confident about this. No, I'm good. But thank you. Then off you go down the road to never write my book road. It's a little gravelly down there, a little gravelly. And there might be another on ramp one day for you. You may, if this is calling you, then you must get it done. I also have another road, a beautiful highway that's easy and paved well and doesn't have too many bumps on it. And there's lots of little snack shops along the way. I believe in snacks along the way. It's called Bestseller Highway. Bestseller Highway. And there's no traffic on it. It's just, it's easy and breezy. You can drive real fast, drive as fast as you want to. And if you are ready to embark upon a wonderful writing journey, I'd like to share an opportunity for us to work together. And the reason why I gave you that off ramp, because if this presentation was cool for you and you had fun, and I just wanted to give you an opportunity to jump off. And if you don't mind, I'd really like to share this opportunity with you now. May I do that now? May I? I'd like to introduce something to you called the Right Plan program. Get it? It's the Right Plan. It's a coaching and accountability program. It's a hybrid program designed to help you navigate the path towards a successful authorship. And like I said, success for me in authorship is there's several markings. So yes, there's bestseller, but there's things beyond bestseller, and there's success that you get to before you even become a bestseller, believe it or not. And I love to help people navigate that beautiful highway, and we could do it together. So I just want you to imagine for just a moment, just imagine with me, your dream of sharing your unique story with the world is not just a dream anymore. It's no longer a dream. It's a clear, actionable plan. What if you were to imagine, just imagine for me, just for a moment, that you had a personal guide by your side, helping you to clarify your book idea, craft a powerful outline, and develop a manageable writing schedule that fits your lifestyle. And imagine that you're holding your book with pride and joy and excitement, just touching the lives and changing the lives of others. Well, what would that feel like to you? What would that feel like? What would that be for you? How could that be for you? We're not even all the way down the highway yet. We're just right here at this place of imagining what it would be like. So wait a minute. I don't have to be afraid of the writing process. Wait a minute. There'll be a plan put in place with me. Wait a minute. I can have all the steps that I need laid out for me, and I have somebody who loves doing this by my side. And I have to mention that we have fun while doing it. Well, let me just talk to you about the right plan then. So here's what's in it for you. So one of the first things I like to share with people is I love the hybrid experience, and I love group experiences and I love one-on-one. So I created something where I get to have all of it. I get to have a one-on-one session with you, and I call it the Ink to Influence session. And Ink to Influence is all about really diving into and really understanding what your captivating book idea is and the ways to build a legacy platform. So from the very beginning, we're starting you out with going, okay, I know we're fitting to write this book. I know you fitting to write this book, but let's get really clear about the outcome, the bigger picture of all of it. And that I'd like to do with you on a one-on-one, because I get to hear your ideas, of, share space with you and get the energy of what it is you want to put out in the world, and create for you a plan for that platform to be in place when the book is done. So we just create an outline for it. We create like I said, a plan for it. We mind map it, if you will, to go show you what's possible with your book. Okay. And that's what we do during our one-on-one coaching session. And we also have weekly group accountability sessions. Remember, I told you before that one of the things I see a lot of writers have is like, oh, I don't have time to write. I don't know. I don't want to, and then you fall off the wagon. There won't be any falling off the wagon. I'm going to keep you in the wagon. We're going to get in the wagon. We're going to ride together. And I'm creating weekly accountability sessions. And some of the sessions will be coaching and consulting. Some of the sessions will hear each other's words on our pages. Some of the sessions, I'll just create a co-working session. Have you ever attended a co-working session? They're fabulous. I'm going to turn on my computer. You turn on your computer. Let's just show up at the same time and we both work. Check in. You doing all right? You doing all right? Great. You doing all right? Get your snacks. Let's talk. Let's work. Let's work quietly, come in and check with each other. I love that, because if I know that I have an accountability group, that I'm accountable for my spirit, my energy being there and holding space, and they're holding space for me too, it's a powerful place to be. And that way we all rise together. I love that. And I'm doing that for 2 months. We're talking 60 days of weekly sessions to make sure that you stay on track. We're going to do this together. And then I have something I call my story mining process. I gave you a little hint of it a little earlier, where I just go digging for the stories in my life. Like, does this story work? Does this story work? What can this story do? How can I make this work? And the way I make the story work is something I call the story alchemy process. And it's about digging through the story and looking for the lessons, the wisdom that will, again, not only make me happy that I get to share it, but help the soulmate reader feel seen, heard, resonate, and go, wow, that's me too. Or, wow, I didn't know that was available. Thank you for showing it to me. And it's actually in all transparency, it's a process that I partner with the divine to make happen. And make happen. I partner with you and the divine to come through with the ideas that will be the most powerful to help those who will read your book. All right. Very good. The next part of this is you'll get the book alchemy plan. You'll get the complete book alchemy plan. So what you have today is just step one. I have it broken down into 3 steps. So step 1 is the foundation, confidence, knowing who your reader is, and establishing a plan for the book. Then there are 3 other pieces, I would say. There's foundation, there's finesse, and there's flourish. And finessing is about getting the book written. The finessing is about the actual structure of the book and the way you want it to happen, and how the editing process will go. And then flourish is the marketing and the leveraging of the book. And so I've created a whole 3-pronged system, but in this particular case, you get the overview, for free. You're getting the whole foundation piece. And when we work together, we will dive into all aspects of getting this book done. You will leave with a draft that you're happy about. And then we could talk about what to do with it next. You just got to get this book out of your head and out of your heart. And as I say, into the hearts and minds of others. And so that's the book alchemy plan there. Oh, and we'll really dive into your soulmate reader and get really clear on who he, she, or they are, so that you're keeping them top of mind as you write. You're keeping them top of mind and top of heart as you prepare to offer what you have to the world, offer this beautiful book. So let's go back over this. The right plan, a one-on-one coaching session. So what would that be worth? Valued at about $3,000. If I were to open, if you were to DM me right now, Kim calls, I just want a one-on-one session with you. Oh, great, I'll send you an invoice and let's get started. $3,000 just for that session alone. And what's the next piece? Is the 60 days of accountability sessions. Well, the value of that would be about $1,500. 2 months of weekly sessions of you and me together, getting this book written, getting this book done, and getting my eyes and heart on your words. The next piece of this is the story mining process, which is valued at $997. The next piece of this is the story alchemy process, which the two of those pieces together about really honing your stories in a way that makes all the difference to your soulmate reader. And those are $997 and $997 together. These are populating beautifully. And then the next piece is what? Let me see over here, is the detailed book plan. Like just this piece alone, for you is $295. Just a detailed book plan, or like follow this plan, go. It's like the roadmap to where you want to go, which is to becoming a successful published author. We'll create that plan. I'll work on that together. And then the soulmate reader profile is $95. And I'm going to make an unannounced announcement. I'll also throw in something I call the fascination test for each of you. It's a beautiful test to get you clear about how you already fascinate in the world, how you already communicate in the world, so that you can dial that up and you will win because you're showing up as your authentic self. And so I didn't tell the team that I'm throwing this in, but I will gift you with a fascination report. You get a beautiful understanding of your archetype and how you communicate in the world, so you can communicate more effectively in that way. And that will help you during the writing, and that will help you when you go to market the book, so that you're being your most authentic self. So that's not on the slide, but I'm throwing that in. There, I've said it. So if you were to add all of this up, the total value of this package is $6,884, and I've just thrown in some extra value for. So $6,884 plus, but not today. Not today. I'll ask you, what would it mean if all the right plan was to get you more clarity and more focus and more confidence? What would that be worth? What would that be worth for you? What if the right plan, if all it did was just help you get your first draft complete? Just get that first draft done. What would that be worth? What would that be worth for you? What if the right plan program that I just presented to you, what if all it did was help you take massive action towards your desire to be a published author? I'll ask you, what would that be worth? Well, I've gone down this whole stack of all the things that are included. And like I said, I've thrown in the fascination test for you as part of the package. The $6,884 plus. But not today. Today, if you register, and this offer is open until Monday the 27th. You register now for $1,197. So 1197. And I'm going to put up the link, and it's offer until 8/27. I'm going to put up the link for you. Let me just show that. You go to www.ideatoimpactbook.com TWP, and TWP stands for the right plan. Because we're going to take your book from idea to the impact it can create in the world, and the impact that it will create in the world. So ideatoimpact.com/TWP. And I created this because I wanted to find authors that are ready to get their message out into the world, get their message and their mission out into the world in a very powerful way. And this program will give you a comprehensive, full-on, immersive experience into getting the idea out of you, getting it shaped into the way that will resonate most with your people. And once we get really dialed in on who your people are, it will write itself. It really will write itself. And like one of the things I love telling people is that I love creating spaces that are safe. And so we have fun, and I make it joyful, and I make it full of possibility and safety, so that your ideas are yours. By the way, I keep none of it. This is all you. One of the things I wanted to do as part of my mission as a publisher, as Hot Coals Publishing, is that I don't own the work. You own the work. The power is in your hands. It just, my gift is to help you bring it forth and bring it through and get it out into the world. It all belongs to you, and it belongs to the people you're meant to serve. And let's face it, it belongs to God, the divine source, spirit, however you language it. It was placed in you so that you can get it out into the world. So that's the program right there. Hey, Vanessa, how are you? I see you. So I'm going to answer a few questions for you. I see a few questions. This offer doesn't include editing, formatting, and publishing. I have a separate offer for that. And if you want to send me a DM about that, we can do that. This is to get the draft out. Get the draft out of your head onto the page. So this doesn't include editing and formatting and publishing. However, the plan the detailed book plan and the session that we're going to talk about, I will make available to you an overarching plan that you could then go and do that, or you could talk about working with Hot Coals Publishing for that piece. So I'll give you the information. Again, remember earlier in the presentation, I said that you can research and get the information on how to do that. Part of this will be, I will give you a plan on how to make that happen, but this doesn't include that piece of it at this time. What you could do is send me a DM if you're interested in the publishing piece of it. Send me a message on whatever platform you're on. So if you're on the Facebook, send me a DM, and my team will send you information for us to have a call or have the team call. Thank you for saying it's a great price. I really wanted to make it doable. By the way, it's open until the 27th. This is a program that I will have open, but it won't be at this rate again. And by the way, there is a to-pay. So when you go to ideatoimpactbook.com/TWP, there is a to-pay plan available for you. So there's that. I'm going to see if there's some other. So your book is done. Great. If you'd like to talk about publishing, send us a message, and we'd love to have a conversation and see if we're if we're a good fit to work together. Truth likes that as I like that once you figure out who your people are, your book will write itself. Yeah, I keep any work that I do, even creating this presentation and creating these pretty slides. Someone made the pretty slides really pretty for me. My beloved Dr. EJ stepped in and helped me with that. But in creating the content for them, I had you in mind. I had you, whoever you are, whoever's listening to the sound of my voice right now, I had you in mind when I was creating this. And that makes it flow, I think, when you put the energy of the others that you're going to be helping, that makes a difference. All right, very good. See if there's any other questions I can answer for you. You can register right there. I see you, Vanessa. Vanessa's in this book. Vanessa's in this book right here. Hello. Sounds like a perfect partnership, and especially includes the divine. Well, I can't do it without the divine. I can't do it without the divine. And I'll say that the more I get into, so Kim Cole's the actress, comedian. By the way, you may have seen me recently on Days of Our Lives playing a crazy nurse. I kidnapped a man. I was shooting him up with drugs to keep him drugged up. It was crazy. I was remember that movie Misery with Kathy Bates? I was Kathy Bates. And finally the FBI, this is on Days of Our Lives, by the way. The FBI came in and apprehended me, and they took me away to the crazy house. The divine is there too, because I need the divine to help me memorize these lines. I need the divine to recover from the day that Jack A's character, because it was her husband that I stole, came in and smacked me. I needed the divine to help my neck out because I had to, they had to bring in a stunt coordinator to show me how to do the slap, how to fall from the slap. It was so much fun. The divine was there for me in there and in that. And the older I get, the more spiritual work I do, I have to request and remember that the divine, I say the divine, God, Goddess, Spirit, Allah, Yahweh, all the names of God and Goddess, howsoever you call it, the thing that connects us all, the Creator. The older I get, the more I get connected to that. And so the divine is there for me. And then as I speak or teach or share my gift for you, to you, I request you here with me, right? And then I learned something new that I've never shared with anybody too. It's new to me. I remember seeing a clip of Maya Angelou talking about when she goes to do something important. And this would be a really wonderful way to leave this with you and sort of really turn the dial a little bit more on the confidence piece. Maya Angelou talks about bringing her ancestors with her. Come with me now. Come with me now. I can't do Angela Maya. That's not an imitation that I do. But come with me now. Like you're never alone. You're never alone. You don't have to do this alone. Come with me now, ancestor. I'm going into this room to have an interview. I'm going into this experience where I'm going to be teaching something. I'm going in to present my nonprofit to someone who might invest in my nonprofit. Come with me now, so you can bring your ancestors with you. You can bring the divine with you and ask the divine to come and speak with you and through you to help others. And that's the work I love to do. And like I said, when we do the one-on-one, it's really powerful. And I'm told what to say, what to offer. And like I said, it's just from me to you, from you to me. And I love this experience. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. So if this feels like the right fit, I would love to have you join the right plan. And if this is for someone that you think, this was pretty good, Kim Coles, I'm going to share this with my friends. I see a few people are sharing. Thank you so much for sharing with others. Would love to have you join me in this experience. I make it safe, I make it fun, and I give my very best always. And that's part of my overcoming and becoming. Who I've become is somebody who shows up and gives my very best. I take the divine everywhere I go. I can't not. It's in me and it's in you. And I look at you as if the divine is in you too. And even some of them wackadoodle crazy people out there, like you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but I see God all up in you too. And that helps me make sense of all of it in whatever way I can. Come and join the right plan. Would love to play with you. We start very soon. We go for 2 full months in getting this done. We get to meet one-on-one, and you will leave with a draft that you are so excited about taking to the next step. And I'll even tell you what those new steps are. And if you are the right fit for us for right hot coals to publish you, then we can do that too. I'm so grateful for this work that I get to do in this world, and grateful that you showed up. Please share this to others. Like I said, this offer is available until 8/27 at this rate, and then I will kick it up a notch. Thank you all so much for being here. Any other questions? I'm looking and seeing. See somebody shared. I see you, Coach Case. Coach Case is in the house. Thank you, Truth Jones. Appreciate you, and appreciate everyone who came today. Share with others. It was my pleasure, my delight to be with you. Come and join the right plan. Would love to work and or play with you for the next couple of months. Let's do it. All right, everybody. Goodbye for now. Thank you.